Hello everyone and welcome to this video. My name is Grace, or you probably know me as Harmonious Trait on Instagram. Today I'm just going to be going through a tutorial on how to make a InDesign template. This is what InDesign looks like. But I've been getting so many questions, a lot of people asking me to make them templates, and I just thought it might be easier if I just show you how to make one and what I do to make one. That way that you could do it yourself and I don't have to make like 30-40 InDesign templates for people, which if I had the time, I totally would, but in reality, I do not. So hopefully just making this video is a lot easier in that regards. So I just want to go to my link tree real quick. I've noticed that I'm really bad at responding to YouTube comments. So if you click that link in my Instagram bio, you can go to my Discord and ask me questions there. Or like I said, you can just go to my Instagram DMs and message me here. I'm usually much more available to answer any questions over my Instagram DMs or my Discord server. So please feel free to reach out to either of those. If you have any questions regarding like InDesign or something's not working for you, please feel free to ask questions either on Instagram or my Discord server. So without further ado, I will say I've prepared absolutely zero. I feel like I know this program enough, so we're just gonna roll with it. And if it's disorganized and confusing, again, just please ask questions. So we're going to go into InDesign. If you click this blue button in the top left and say new file, this is what's going to pop up. So you can go here. I'm going to name it like post template. And then I always like to go by pixels because this is kind of what I'm used to. So this is a part that's going to be like very different for everyone. I tend to crop all of my screenshots into 1050 by 12. Oh, here we go. And then height is 1200. That's just my like post size for Instagram. So this might look different for everyone. If you're doing a square on Instagram, it might look like 1080 by 1080. I just prefer to go by 1050 by 1200. That's just kind of my standard, but that's going to look different for everyone. So however wide and however tall you want your post to be, that's what you're going to put in here. And then we're gonna uncheck what they call facing pages. Facing pages is basically like if you're creating a magazine, you're going to have a page on the left and a page on the right when you open it up. But for this instance, if we're just making like a post, we don't need facing pages. We don't have spreads. So and then for pages, we're gonna do 10 because Instagram allows you to have 10 slides per post. So that's kind of how I start it up. Another important thing I really liked is to add margins right here. Mine is 36 pixels all the way around. That's just so I can have guidelines as to where to put text. I don't put text exceeding those margins because then it gets too close to the edge, which InDesign we know that the eye doesn't tend to like. So I just have my margins like that. Feel free to do that as well. And then we're just going to hit create. And mine's loading a little bit. Oh, it does not like me. One thing I will say about pixel dimensions is that it's really important not to exceed probably 2000 pixels. If your screenshots from The Sims are at like a maximum quality, they're probably much more than that, but that is a big reason why I resize my photos in Photoshop first. The thing with InDesign is it's not going to be easy to be moving around this program if you have a ton of screenshots that are like over 2000 pixels. So that's why my template is 1050 by 1200. And if I go any more than that, then my program will be kind of laggy and things like that. So that's why I recommend like resizing photos to what you need for InDesign in Photoshop. If you look at my storytelling process video, I do that in that video. So here we are. Over to the right, you can see I'm in a panel called Pages, and this has my my posts or my slides, I guess, from 1 through 10. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to make something for slide 1, and then we're going to copy and paste it all the way through and then save it. So let's go ahead and set up our panels first, and we're going to do that by going to Window. And then I think things that will be important for you for this will be your object and layout panel. So we're going to go ahead and get that. And then I'm just going to move it over. You'll see like a blue thing, and we'll anchor it to the side here. Pages is also very important, so I'm just going to drag that down here. We don't really need libraries. And then going back into Window, I think another thing that might be important is stroke. This will be important when we have like text that we need to add stroke around. So I'm just trying to organize my panels here. You'll probably get just a lot of like random things over here. You can organize it how you want. Styles can always be important, but I think we'll skip that for now. I'm gonna do character, and usually character comes with paragraph. So those two are really good. Those are both under the type in the window. Again, just like dragging it over to my panels over to the right. And then the last thing, I think it's the last thing, if I can find it, is our swatches, which we might already have over here. You think I would know where it is by now. Table tools. Oh, color up here, way up here. Swatches, I also believe is very important, and I'm just gonna add that to color over here. Sweet. Okay, so again, we have like a line here. We have pages. We have stroke, which we'll need later. We have character and paragraph, which we'll be able to create our text, and then we have swatches. So just to start, over here to the left, we have all of our tools, and this box with the X in it is very important regarding our frame tool. So I'm going to go ahead and click the frame tool, and I'm going to drag it from one corner to the other, and we're going to see a blue X. So the frame tool is basically a tool where it's anticipating a photo to go inside it. So 2 ways that you can put a photo: the long way, file, and then place. And then basically it'll take you to your computer library, and you can find your screenshot and place it in there. The easy keyboard command, if you're on a Mac, it's Command D. And then if you're on a PC, it would be Control D. So that's kind of easy, but as you could see, your computer library will come up, and then you'll be able to put your photo into the frame. So that's what we need for placing photos on each slide. And now we're going to make a text box. And text, you can see your type tool over here. And as you can see, these purple lines right here, the purple and pink, are my margin lines. I don't like to exceed text from those, so I'm going to make a text box over anchored at the bottom and going to those margin lines. So now I'm just going to type up something. I'm going to say like, hi, this is Harmonia Street. As you can see, it's really small and we can't really see it, so I'm going to highlight it, and then I'm going to go over here to character. I think a good font size, at least for my template size, is 30. Yeah, and then it's not too big. I might do 35 just so we can see well. And then I'm going to copy and paste it. That way I can just see like multiple lines. And actually the leading here is pretty good. You can change the leading over here to the right from the font size. So mine's at 42. I might change it to like 40. That way it's just a little bit closer. It didn't do what I asked it to. Yeah, so I'm gonna change that to 40 and it's just a little bit closer, which is nice. I'm actually gonna change the font so it might be different. Right now I'm at the like default font, but I'm going to change this to Helvetica. Oh, is it not here? Oh, I'm in sans serif or serif fonts. Okay, I'm gonna type in my font and I use Helvetica Bold, I believe. I think that's it. Okay, so if you can add whatever fonts to your computer, it should show up in InDesign. So whatever font you want to use, you can change that for your text. And basically now we're going to add a drop shadow and a stroke. This is what I do in order for text to stand out. Again, I'm just helping you get familiar with the program. You don't have to do exactly what I do, but I'm going to make my text white. We're going to act like this is Brooke's font color. And then over here up in our stroke panel, I'm going to make the weight like 5 for the stroke. Let's see, that did nothing. Okay. Oh, over here, this top panel here is like the color of our fill. The bottom one is the color of our stroke. So I'm gonna make that black. Let's see if it comes up now. Yep. I think the stroke is a little heavy still, so I'm gonna go down to 4. Okay, yeah, that looks a lot better. Maybe even like 3.5. I think I'll put in. So again, kind of trial and error on what looks good to your eye. That looks good to me, but I do want to add a little drop shadow. I think it will still help. So I just right click on my text box and I'm gonna go to effects, and under effects we have drop shadow. So I'm gonna go to drop shadow, and you can hit the little preview box down here so you can see it. Right now it's a little too blurry. I'm going to make my opacity 100. I'm going to make this normal. I'm going to decrease the size to 0, that way there's no blur. I'm going to make my angle 0 degrees. Oops, I didn't mean, I have to go back. And then my X offset here, it's really far over to the left. So I'm just gonna decrease that. And we're just gonna do, I think, an offset of -3. So you can see there's a drop shadow that goes a little bit to the left. And I think that just helps, again, with like text being visible. This isn't exactly what I use, but it's pretty close, I think. Yeah, and then another thing I like to do is go to paragraph down here. And I tend to not want any hyphens at the end of the text box, so I usually uncheck that. And then I center my text so it's in the middle. Again, you don't have to do that, but this is just where you find all that. You can even indent if you want to by increasing these pixels right here. So that looks pretty good. If you delete this, literally whatever you text in here, like, it will have that set up pretty much. So literally whatever you text in there is good. And then last thing I really like to add for like a regular slide post is I like to get this regular rectangle here, and I like to add kind of a black gradient box behind my text, because This helps separate the text between the photo and the text, like it helps bring the text from the photo. And basically I'm going to fill it with black. You can do that over here. I just switched it from stroke to fill. And then I'm going to right click again, effects, and then we're going to go to gradient feather down here. And then again, you can hit the little preview box. This is pretty close to what I need. So as you can see here, we're going from black to transparent is what this bar is showing here. I'm going to extend this a little bit, or I'm going to extend it backwards. Yeah. So we have less black. And then this angle here, I'm going to put it at 90 degrees. So you can see it's facing upward. Again, kind of exceeding this. So you can see it's like fading upwards. So whatever screenshot you have in the back, it will fade. Then I'm gonna hit OK. And I'm gonna bring it up a little bit. And I'm actually, sorry, again, did not prepare. So I'm just playing around, going to extend this. I know it looks dark right now, but then you can go to properties. I think properties is the panel, yeah, here. And you see opacity. I'm going to make this opacity, I think my usual one is like 40. Yeah, so as you can see, it's kind of dark down here at the bottom, but it's not like black. If I have like a darker screenshot, I can just go to my properties panel here and I can click on the box, and then I can like move the opacity so it's darker if I need to. But kind of my standard for like Sims 4 screenshots is like 40. Yeah, but because I created that black box last, it's the furthest most, so your text box is kind of hiding back there. So I'm going to click my text box. I'm gonna right click. We're going to go to arrange and bring to front. So now your text box is in the front. So now I have my text and I can type in it, and the black box is not in front of it. So this is a pretty good standard of the 3 things I have on a slide. So now I'm going to copy all 3. I just highlight it. I'm going command copy, and then I'm going to scroll down to each one, right click, paste in place. And then that's going to paste it on every single slide. Oops. And over here in your pages panel, you can see those changing. So right now I'm still on page 2, but if I click page 3, it switches. So page 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now we have all of our slides. You can go here, you can click the frame tool, you can go Control D, you can add your photo, and then in here you can literally copy and paste from a doc like I do, or you can just type like, this is what Brooke is saying. Hey Connor. You know, like that's what you can do for the template. It's super easy. All your text is ready to go. Next thing I'm going to show you, let's say you wanted like 2 pictures on a photo. What I like to do is over here in the margin, I like to set up for that. So I'm going to kind of line it up. I'm going to bring this down. I actually might line it up on here so I can see guides. So here, let me just delete this, sorry. Okay, so let's say we have our regular template. I'm going to highlight all 3. I'm going to bring them down until like the middle of the X. You see that pink guideline right there? Boom. I can copy and paste this and place it on top. So now I have 2 spots for photos. I have 2 text boxes and that gradient box, and it's still the same thing. So still the same font size, everything. So I like to take this and just keep it in the margin. And for now, I'll just have this regular one photo slide here. You can also do the same thing for like 3 if you needed that. So yeah, and then let's say like on slide 5, I'm going to have 2 photos. I just copy this, go into my pages panel, go to slide 5, delete that, and then paste that and line it up. And then I'm ready to place my photos. So that's really helpful, just having that in the margin when you need it. Another thing right here is if you go to that rectangle frame tool and you double click, you also have a polygon and an ellipse. So I can go here, I can make a circle and like have that if I want to add a circle to, to my template. So yeah, and then I think the last thing I'm going to show you is just setting up like colors for characters if you do colored text. So I'm going to bring my swatches panel here just so you can see it. And I'm going to make a new folder and I'm going to call it characters. This is how my template looks. So I'm going to add a swatch here, and then I'm going to make it, I like to do process. Another thing for InDesign, for Instagram, you're going to want all of your colors in RGB because that's just what Instagram prefers. That's like the color space that it's in, which is kind of odd. But let's say for Brooke, she's all white for her text. So I can also name it. So I'm going to name this Brooke. Hit OK. And now I have a Brooke swatch in here. I'm going to add another one. I'm going to call this Connor. And Connor is like a bright yellow. So I can go here, make a yellow, kind of move the sliders how you please. And that looks good. And so now I have a Connor swatch. Let's say you don't really know what swatches to use. So I can go here and I go hex codes for, let's say, like a pink for trying to make Harley's color, So I can go here, look, oh, I really like this pink here. That hex code is FA82A7. FA82A7. I can go here and type that in down here. FA82A7. Boom, I have my pink. I'm gonna call this Harley. Boom. So you can make all your swatches here for your characters. So let's say, oops. If it's doing that, make sure if you're switching your text color, make sure that you have the correct place for it. So like right here, again, this is our fill, the top square. The far right square is our stroke. So I'm going to make sure we're telling it that we're filling it. So it goes, hi Connor. And he'll say like, hi Harley. And she'll say like, hi Brooke. So again, Brooke right here is white. I can highlight this, change it to Connor, highlight this, change it to Harley, and boom, I have my different colors. And then what I like to do is I like to go Control Command C. Oh wait, Option Command, no. Wait, I forgot it, hang on. Option Command C, or if you're on PC, it's probably Option Control C. And then see how my text box anchored to the text? Then I drag it and I anchor it to my margin. So that's how I do that. That's why I like making different swatch colors over here. But again, if we just go back, once we type it, it's just going to be, oh my, So sorry. Once we type, it's just going to be our standard text, and then we can color it if need be. So basically, I'm just going to act like I'm exporting so we can set up our exporting stuff. I'm gonna save this as a post template, or this is when I usually save it as like 0, and then it will count down when I export. We want our format in JPEG, we'll save. And then here you want your export in all. You want your pages. Again, we don't have spreads like a magazine, we have just single slides, so pages. You want your quality at maximum. Format can be baseline. Resolution, I like to do 300 because it just looks good. And then color space, you want to make sure that's RGB, especially if you're posting on Instagram. And then here I like to embed the color profile because, again, when you post to Instagram, it'll help all your text colors stay intact and not get more muted or more pale. And then I can't tell you what this is, but I was told to check it and it does great things apparently. So this is what my export settings look like, which are really helpful. And then once we set all of that, we can just hit cancel, but this will look the same every time you export from this template now. So that's kind of it. I'm just going to save it, and then that's our template, and then you can open it back up and it'll look blank just like this. So after you put in your photos, after you put in text, I recommend hitting the X and then not saving it, because then you can just open it up to a blank file yet again. I know this was quick, I know it was very disorganized, but I do hope it was helpful to you. Again, you can just DM me here on my Instagram at harmoniousstraight, or feel free to go to my Discord. You can leave comments, but don't be surprised if I don't answer you. It's just because I'm not good at answering YouTube comments. So again, just feel free to ask any questions if you have any more on what it's like to make an InDesign template for your Instagram post making. So thanks again for watching. I hope this was helpful, and we'll see you later. Thanks. Okay, there is something really important I forgot, and I wanted to include it because this is a question I actually get a lot. But when you do place a photo, you'll probably notice that your quality is trash. So yeah, I just have like a lot of shown pixels right here. So it's not because your photo's quality is trash, it's because InDesign is trying to help you run the program faster. But if you do want to see them at the quality that they need, you go up to view. I know mine's like cropped out of the frame, but you go up to view, display performance, and yours is probably checked at typical display. So if your photo is not good quality, that's why. And all you have to do is hit high quality display, and as you can see, all those like pixels cleared up on my photo. So just wanted to include that because that is a question that I get a lot. So, and that is it. Again, thank you for watching this video. Bye.